What's good, YouTube? Man, it's your boy, Just Wave, aka Big Wave, and I'm back with another one, as y'all already posted, had even predicted, you know what I'm saying? Because it's 31 days, it's Halloween, baby. But look, we got the most shit you need to know before Black Ops 6. The 23 things you need to know before lunch on my mama. So we're finna go and get into this, but if y'all new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, do all that good shit, turn on that bell so y'all can know when I post, because I'm back to back with them, you feel me? But yeah, man, we're finna go and get into this video, another reaction to some info. You know what I'm saying? We 2 days away. Well, when y'all seeing this, one day and some hours. But yeah, let's go and get into this. Espresso, man. Turn down just a little bit. Go and put us on game, what we need to know.
Time is counting down, and we're almost there
Yes,
for
sir.
Black
Yes,
Ops
sir.
6. Today, I want to run down everything you need to know in regards to the upcoming Black Ops 6 launch and getting it geared up and ready to go. Drop your thoughts as we go along. What are you jumping into first? Multiplayer, zombies, or campaign? And make sure to drop a like if you enjoy the video or find it at all insightful. As well, if you'd like to stay up to date with all things Black Ops 6, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're chasing down that lofty goal of 600,000 subscribers, so I'd truly love to have you in the community in this last push before launch, if you're part of that nearly 75% of viewers not subscribed. But anyways, we got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. Firstly, preload availability. In prior years when we've talked about this, preloads weren't available all the time, but right now, preloading is available, which I'd highly recommend getting in on.
Damn, preload available? I ain't even got my shit preloaded.
If this is something you're interested in jumping in from the first moment.
Huh? I'm confused. 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. So they get to play. Oh, because if they switch their region. Damn. Okay. 9 o'clock Pacific time, so that's 11. You know,
The game is available. It's a hefty download of over 100 gigabytes for Black Ops 6, which means it's going to take some time even with the best internet around. So especially if you don't have the greatest internet, take this time to get ahead of the curve with 2 to 3 days to spare on when you can get things downloaded. So again, come that first moment the game opens up for you, you can jump in if you'd like to do so. Which, speaking of, when does the game launch? Well, it actually depends on the platform. Consoles, Xbox, and PlayStation, the game ends up launching at midnight local time. So starting with midnight in New Zealand, then midnight in Sydney, and progressively rolling out hour by hour with whatever time zone you're in around the world. On console, you can access it normally at midnight your local time up until midnight mountain time in the US. That is the latest the rollout will be happening. So if you're in a time zone behind that, you'll be able to access it at that point, which would equate out to 11 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. in like Juneau, Alaska, and 7 p.m. in Hawaii. And for the first time in the PC launch in recent history, if you have the game on PC Game Pass or the Windows PC version of the game, you can also follow that same rollout process. So this does not include BNet or Steam, just that one version of PC Game Pass or the Windows version of Black Ops 6, but you can end up doing that midnight locally as well. Now, as for BNet and Steam, the standard PC is not a progressive rollout, but rather one individual launch time, that being 9 p.m. Pacific on the 24th, midnight Eastern going into the 25th, so like New York City, 5 a.m. in the UK, 6 a.m. in Paris, 1 p.m. in South Korea and Tokyo, and 3 p.m. in Sydney, Australia. Now, there is a way to play early if you so choose to do so. For some, it's definitely worthwhile. Others, not so much worth the hassle for the extra, at most 17 hours you'll end up getting to play. But there is a way to end up playing alongside that global rollout at the earliest possible times. Xbox and PC Game Pass, all you have to do is change your region to New Zealand. PlayStation, this has to be shared through a secondary account set up in the New Zealand region if you don't already have one, because you can't just simply change your region on PlayStation, and the game has to be purchased on that New Zealand region account and shared then to your main account. You can use it the rest of the year so you don't have to buy it twice, but then BNet and Steam, unfortunately, you can't end up doing this early, unless last year's bug of being able to join a friend who's already online ends up working again. In which case, if that's the case and you have a friend online, you can just join up on them. But having your COD account set to New Zealand also doesn't hurt. I'm not sure if that's required. I know in the past it had been, but not sure if that's still the case. Anyways, there is likely going to be a day one update coming as well. As of recording this, we don't know all of what will be included in the changes from the beta to launch and what we played a couple of months ago to what we'll be playing this upcoming weekend, but we will be seeing adjustments made here that a day one patch is likely. Perhaps it is baked into the preload already, but definitely you'll notice some changes from what you'd previously played. Now, on day one, it is quite possible you actually already have automatically earned rewards. Things like the Vault Edition items will be available here to play throughout the entirety of the game. Those being your blueprints of the LR762, Jackal PDW, Marine SP, Ames 85, and the knife as well. You'll end up having the Operator Pack of Park, Adler, Brutus, and Klaus, which is actually the only way to get these at launch. I'm sure that later on down the line, they'll be introduced more shop bundles or maybe a regular base operator default skin you can end up earning or buying. But right now, at least as of launch, that's the only way to get those 4 operators. Like we had a similar situation to what we saw with the operator pack in last year's Vault Edition as well for Price, Ghost, Makarov, and I think it was Ivan. But you also have the Gobblegum pack, which is still not explicitly detailed on what that will come with for zombies. The Woods operator pack with those 3 variations here as a base operator, and the Season 1 Black Cell, which will be applied later on down the line, which we'll get to in a little bit when we talk about the Season 1 integration and when that happens. Any retailer bonuses that you have, like Control Freak had a couple of things with digital in-game items. Little Caesars ends up having some rewards as well that give in-game items and other things like that. If those were redeemed, those will be on your account as well. If you partook in the beta at all, you'll end up having those beta participation rewards as well, depending on what level you ended up achieving in that beta. If you watched any Twitch streams for the Twitch drops in the beta, you'll also end up having those available. Things like campaign completion rewards will also be available if you so choose to jump into the campaign first and foremost. XP tokens are one thing that are, again, going to be available. Potentially you already have a bunch banked here from like the Monster and Little Caesars events. Those were the main ones. Other retailers, I think, have had some out there, but those are available through various locations. One key thing to note, though, is that tokens that you've had up until this point for Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 will not transfer. They will be there in Warzone come the integration, but they will not be available for Black Ops 6. So just bear that in mind. But come day one, of course, you have the full offering of the game as a whole. Campaign, you'll have all these missions here to play through. It seems like, based on a now deleted mention from COD Blogs, that there's probably going to be around 11 missions, but it is mentioned that will be in line with prior games' length, around 6 to 9 hours, despite not having like 18 missions to play through. And it'll be definitely longer than Cold War, which averaged out to about 5.5 hours on playthrough. Missions also will have a more open-ended nature to them compared to prior games, not just A to B, with more focus on missions similar to Desperate Measures from Cold War, where there's a lot of choice, but ultimately you end up coming back to the same point. It's not necessarily the open combat missions that we saw in Modern Warfare 3, which weren't exactly super well done. So a mid-ground on the term of like open world missions. The safe house is going to be returning, where you can upgrade your character, weapons, sort of play styles and everything like that. And there's also mentioned there's only going to be one singular ending. Personally, I'm a little bummed about that because I love the multiple endings in Black Ops 2 and in Black Ops Cold War, but you'll only have one ending here that is all canon within Black Ops 6. Again, as mentioned, you'll end up having the ability to get rewards for completing various missions and doing things like upgrades and a safe house puzzle for some related ones. Those rewards include a bunch of different smaller things, but also 5 blueprints for the Ames 85, Marine SP, LR762, Jackal PDW, and the knife. This is a nice way to get some permanent unlocks for weapons, since blueprints in this progression system of the Prestige will end up permanently unlocking them, allowing them to persist even through that relocking process of Prestige. So it's a nice way to get 5 weapons right out of the gate here if you didn't end up buying the Vault Edition. Saves you $30 to get the same outcome as those Vault Edition blueprints. Multiplayer, you're going to end up having a ton of maps, modes, weapons, all that kind of stuff. You have the maps of Protocol, Payback, Skyline, Lowtown, Subsonic, Rewind, Scud, Red Card, Babylon, Derelict, Vorkuta, Vault, Warhead, Stakeout, Gala, and Pit, with Nuketown coming on November 1st, already confirmed, which is cool. You have the modes of TDM, Domination, Search and Destroy, Kill Confirm, Free For All, Hardpoint, Gunfight, Headquarters, Kill Order, and Control, with the alternate modes of Face Off included in that, where it's going to be strike variations of play, those 2v2 smaller maps, but in a 6v6 capacity of Face Off Domination, Face Off TDM, Face Off Kill Order, and Face Off Kill Confirm. Now for my hardcore grinders out there, hardcore will be there available on day one. A traditional hardcore mode, not like a tier 1 and what Infinity Ward tried to do with Modern Warfare 2, but you have hardcore team deathmatch, Kill Order, Domination, Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, kill confirmed, free-for-all, and hardcore face-off mosh pit. There is no hardcore control, headquarters, or gunfight coming here just yet. All weapons, you're going to end up having the XM4, AK-74, Ames 85, GPR 91, Model L, Goblin Mark II, AS Val, C9, KSV, Tonto 22, PP 919, Jackal PDW, the Compact 92, shotguns, the Marine SP and the ASG 89, LMGs of the PS21, XMG, GPMG 7, marksman rifles of the SWAT 556, Sarkov 762, AEK 973, and DM10. The sniper rifles of the LW3A1 Frostline, the SVD, and the LR 762. Handguns, you'll have the 9mm PM, the Grekov, the GS45, and the Strider 22. The launchers, you'll have the Sigma 2B and the HE1, and the melees, you'll end up having the knife and the baseball bat. So you'll end up having 33 weapons across 7 rifles, 6 SMGs, 2 shotguns, 3 LMGs, 4 marksman rifles, 3 sniper rifles, 4 pistols, 2 launchers, and 2 dedicated melees. Now again, as we talked about, there are going to be changes coming from the beta to launch, so we've already seen some of these detailed in regards to improvements to headshot multipliers, increasing that based off of what we saw in the beta, where it was a little too low for everybody's liking. Improvements to bullet penetration standards are going to be made, making them a little bit more consistent. Weapon balancing in regards to ADS fluidity on snipers, improved weapon swapping during sprint and tactical sprint, reduction of weapon motion during crouch transitions, and increases to weapons like shotguns and other upgrades to keep SMGs from overperforming. That's some of the balancing changes that will be made here for launch. Of course, you'll end up having a ton of different perks across the perk system and create a class. You end up having 3 different categories of perks, each having some bleed over into specific tiers. So these 3 categories are not necessarily 1, 2, and 3 tiers, but you end up having the Enforcer, Recon, and Strategist perks. You have Dexterity, Gung-Ho, Scavenger, Assassin, Bruiser, Bankroll, Double Time, Ghost, Ninja, Engineer, Forward Intel, Tracker, Cold-Blooded, Vigilance, Flak Jacket, Tac Mask, Dispatcher, Fast Hands, Gearhead, Guardian, and Quartermaster, with again, each of those falling into the categories of Enforcer, Recon, and Strategist. If you end up taking 3 perks that all end up corresponding with that same sort of category of perk, you end up getting a Combat Specialty, which is a bonus perk effect on top of that for having all 3 the same. Now, if you have 2 and 1, you don't end up getting that same effect, but you can also take 4 perks with the perk Greed Wildcard that allows you to have some versatility here, and having 3 of those getting the bonus through Combat Specialty, and then 1 additional perk as well. As for your Enforcer perks, if you end up having that Combat Specialty, it will grant temporary buff to movement speed and health regeneration upon a kill. Recon will allow players to see enemies through walls for a short period of time after respawn, and give a HUD edge indicator like High Alert that will then also leave no death skulls when killing an enemy. And Strategist will allow players to have bonus score for objectives and destroying enemy equipment. You can also see equipment through walls and deploy equipment and field upgrades faster. Prestige is returning here within Black Ops 6 multiplayer, which I'm very much so excited for here. You're going to end up having levels 1 to 55, then the ability to relock everything and do it all over again for a little bit of prestige in that icon and the sort of bragging rights. But changed with Prestige this year are the way that rewards are handled. You'll end up getting instant rewards and a permanent unlock token every single Prestige, but you also end up getting progressive rewards every 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50th level of each Prestige, where you end up getting an extra added reward as you go along. So you're not just top heavy where you get everything all at the start of a new Prestige, but instead you get it all balanced out across, and also offering more in the grand scheme of things for each Prestige as you go along. Master Prestige is also something that will be available here after you hit Prestige 10, level 55. You'll end up then going on the level track to level 1000, where you can get even more rewards and some really cool stuff as well, such as the Classified Arsenal Ames 85 blueprint. That coming at Master Prestige 90. That is just kind of the tip of the iceberg for all the stuff that we can talk about going into more depth with breaking down all the grinds and everything, but we already put up a video on that, so in the interest of time, we won't keep going on that. Zombies will as well be available at launch here, with both maps coming on day 1, both Liberty Falls and Terminus. Now, Liberty Falls is the more casual experience here, something that is for beginners to jump into, or perhaps it might be a great map to grind out your zombies camos. The lighting and aesthetic have been redone since the beta. It's a bit more gloomy, a bit darker in nature compared to what we saw at COD Next. Done since the beta, it's a bit more gloomy, a bit darker in nature compared to what we saw at COD Next in that initial reveal, which is definitely nice. Whether or not it's something that you think it goes far enough and it's a great touch now at this point, or if it's still not quite there, That's entirely subjective, but it was changed based off of player feedback, which is definitely nice. And then Terminus is this larger map and larger world of an experience that is going to be the gloomier and more hardcore variation of what you'll see available to play here. That I'm excited to jump into because we saw footage of this revealed, but beyond that, there's still a lot to uncover here with it. So that's pretty cool. If you're an Easter egg fan for zombies, as a lot of players are, the Easter egg has actually been something that has been announced to be time gated. So if you don't get in at that earliest possible time of the New Zealand global rollout, you're not going to miss anything just yet. It's already been explained that the Easter egg will start at
the main quest for both Terminus Lyric Falls are planning to go live around 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern on October 25th. Save the date and assemble your crew. 1 Eastern is 12 for me. Fuck. Alright, I gotta get my team. Damn, my brother don't get off work till 3. I'd be 2 hours behind. Nah.
At 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and 6 p.m. BST on October 25th. So you're going to end up having some of that leeway time that it's not even going to be live as of the final global rollout and when everything goes for launch. So this prevents any possible head starts from that global rollout, which is definitely nice. So you're all going to be starting all at one time. And the final thing here to talk about in regards to like launch and the content and the upcoming stuff is there's no bonuses for one platform like years prior. Game Pass is the only thing that I'd say is an option, but content-wise, there's no specific content reserved only for Xbox, PlayStation, or PC, like we saw with the combat packs of years prior. Now, that said, that is everything you really need to know ahead of launch here and to get ready for that, but what about Season 1? We talked about earlier in the video that we'd mentioned Season 1 in a little bit. Well, there is a slight gap between launch and Season 1, but Season 1 will be basically launch part 2, offering new multiplayer content, new weapons, the battle pass, the storefront. The zombies will likely have a map at mid-season, if I'm guessing, so not immediately up front, but then of course we also have the massive integration with Warzone integrating all new weapons, a new map, ranked play on Urzikstan, and much, much more. That looks to be happening as of November 14th, according to promotional messaging sent out there from Little Caesars that's been seen out in the wild. So you'll have less than a month to start leveling up all your favorite weapons and getting those ready for Warzone. You'll have less than a month to work towards those camos if you want those to transfer over, but the secondary launch is not too far away that if you do breeze through everything, you're going to have a nice little refresh here in just a couple of weeks after the launch of the game. So that is everything that I think you should know about Black Ops 6 here ahead of launch. Get any game time snacks, get the crew together, get a Discord going. We're getting really close to Black Ops 6's launch. So just wanted to fill you guys in and keep you in the loop with absolutely everything. So let me know your thoughts down below. Again, what are you jumping into first? Campaign, multiplayer, zombies? Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. Of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops 6 as we gear up for launch and get into the ton of content that is still planned for post-launch. I'd love to have you in the community, but thank you so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.
Another good video by Espresso, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's all the info. Hey, you got, I ain't gonna lie, between me and him, you know what I'm saying? You got all the info you need. Yeah, everybody should be well prepared for Friday, you know what I'm saying, Thursday night at 11 for me, you know what I'm saying, I will be on there, and it seems that the Easter egg won't be live, so I guess I probably won't start off with zombies. I might start off with multiplayer, or I might do start off with zombies even still, just to nah, cause I can level up in multiplayer. I guess I start off multiplayer and play zombies the next day. But yeah, man, since the Easter egg go live that morning, 12 for me, 25th Friday. But yeah, that's gonna be all for this video, man. We got one more day. Y'all will see. I don't know what y'all gonna see in that day. I haven't made the video yet. Probably info, probably gameplay, probably me saying my goodbye to Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer or whatever, but I don't know yet. But that's it for me, man. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? Follow the link in the description. That's the Twitch daily stream. Come tune in when we go live and start playing Black Ops 6. You can be the first one. Go tune in over there. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow.
She keep bothering me, and they fucked with me, girl. But just keep it low key. She see a young nigga on the ground.